Just when we thought the Blueface, Chrisean, and Jaden love triangle was finally over, they're back at it with even more drama, and let me tell you, it's messier than ever. So, apparently, Jaidyn is now on OnlyFans because she's struggling to make ends meet for her kids. On top of that, she's salty because Blueface and Chrisean allegedly got married. Can you imagine? Let's start from the beginning. It all kicked off when Blueface's aunt, Carletta, went live on Instagram spilling all his business. She claimed she got the tea from Blueface's grandma, yes, his grandma, and said Blue and Chrisean tied the knot in Vegas. According to her, the family is now supposed to address Chrisean as Mrs. Porter. But here's the catch. The timeline of her story doesn't even make sense. People are side-eyeing Carletta hard, thinking she's just looking for attention. After all, this wouldn't be the first time someone in Blueface's orbit caused a stir online for clout. And then there's Jaidyn. Poor thing. She's been through so much with Blueface. Let's not forget, this is the same woman who stood by him during his rise to fame. She's been his ride or die, but it seems like she's hit her limit. After giving up on Blueface, Jaidyn even had a lesbian phase, as she put it, trying to move on and find happiness elsewhere. But now it seems like she's hurt all over again, especially with this whole marriage drama. And it's not just the marriage that's bothering her. Word on the street is that Blueface set this whole thing up as a way to keep Chrisean tied to him. Apparently, they exchanged vows over the phone with a pastor right after Chrisean got out of jail. Over the phone. Can you believe it? Now, let's talk about Jaidyn's latest moves. She's been throwing shade left and right, posting thirst traps on Instagram to show she's unbothered. But of course, the internet has its opinions. People are dragging her for what they're calling a botched BBL. They're saying she's just jealous of Chrisean, who's apparently living the life Jaidyn always wanted. And honestly, it kind of makes sense when you remember that Blueface once proposed to Jaidyn. Yep, he popped the question, but then he called it off when he got back together with Chrisean. That had to sting. But wait, it gets even messier. Chrisean's ex-boyfriend Ronnie has entered the chat. He showed up at a mall recently, causing a scene and demanding a DNA test. According to Ronnie, Chrisean's son might actually be his. Can you imagine? The police got involved and it was a whole fiasco. Meanwhile, Chrisean took to Instagram Live to confirm her marriage and talk about how all this drama is just the devil trying to distract her from her faith journey. Yes, you heard that right. Amid all this chaos, she's claiming to be on a faith journey. Girl, it's a lot. Now, back to Jaidyn. She's opened an OnlyFans account to stay afloat financially. Let's be real. Raising kids is expensive, especially when the father of your children is locked up. Jaidyn snapped back at critics who shamed her for joining OnlyFans, saying someone has to work to provide for her kids while Blueface is out of commission. You've got to give her credit for doing what she can, but it's clear that she's also still reeling from everything that's happened. Meanwhile, Blueface's absence isn't doing anyone any favors. He's been in and out of legal trouble for a while now, and his antics keep fueling this endless drama cycle. Whether it's his fights with Chrisean or his questionable parenting choices, it seems like chaos follows him everywhere. And let's not forget, this isn't the first time Blueface's love life has made headlines. From hosting his infamous Blue Girls Club reality show to his public spats with Chrisean, he's no stranger to controversy. But here's what's really wild. Despite all the drama, Blueface and Chrisean's fan base is still going strong. People either love them or love to hate them, and that's what keeps their names trending. Some fans are even rooting for their marriage, saying they're meant to be together no matter how toxic things get. Others are begging them to call it quits and focus on their mental health. It's a polarizing situation, to say the least. Now, let's circle back to the bigger picture. Is this marriage even real? That's the million-dollar question. Some fans think it's just another stunt for attention. After all, Blueface and Chrisean have a history of pulling off wild antics to keep people talking. But if it is real, what does that mean for their future? And where does that leave Jaidyn, who's clearly still dealing with the fallout of her relationship with Blue? And what about Ronnie? If his claims about Chrisean's son turn out to be true, that's a whole new layer of drama. A DNA test could change everything. Not just for Chrisean, but for Blueface too. It's hard to imagine how their already complicated situation could get even more tangled. But with this crew, anything's possible. So, what do you think? Is Chrisean and Blueface's marriage real? Or is this just another stunt? And do you think Jaden is really jealous, or is she just trying to move on and make the best of a bad situation? Let's talk about it because this drama is too much to handle. Grab your popcorn, y'all, because this story isn't over yet.